Well, I am Chris Cloud. So nice to be able to meet you and connect with you, and I'm so grateful for those of you that are praying around the world. I can't tell you how much that means, and Rick asked me to just share a little bit of my story and some of the things that we're working on that we could invite prayer into, so I would love that. I grew up in a missionary home, was not a believer until my early 20s when God really grabbed me in the wilderness with His love and captured my heart and showed me a different way of thinking and being. And so since that moment, He's kind of had me on a journey of figuring out what it looks like to integrate my faith into my life every day, and how do I show up Monday morning in meaningful ways that are informed by this radical encounter that I had with Jesus. And really that's the story of my life. I went to business school, and in that had a job at a really fast-growing startup. Had gone from, I was employee probably number 20 is what we guess, and it grew to 500 people over 5 years. And so I got promoted along the way several times, had the great opportunity to work with the founders and just see the good, the bad, and the ugly of business growth. And they were very successful in terms of financially successful, and they were able to exit for tens and tens of millions of dollars. But I saw along that journey that a lot of that was broken too. A lot of the sort of the business as usual is not really flourishing for everybody. And so that set me on a trajectory to study what that looks like. And in the process, I went back to Nepal and worked with some other successful startups, and then went back to Nepal and was doing missions work and doing some consulting there and coaching there. And that's when I really started my passion for coaching businesses directly. Came back, had my son in Thailand, of course got married in the process, and then my wife and I relocated to Greenville, South Carolina. And that's when I kind of set up my business coaching practice. So really what I get to do every day is wake up and help founders and their leadership teams to have a shared roadmap, a shared sense of identity and purpose, and really get to work on the business proactively so that everybody in the organization can flourish. So I work with some incredible founders. Everybody I work with now, just about everybody, as far as founders are believers, but I work with their leadership teams too, and many are not believers. And so it's just an incredible thing to be able to wake up every day and have a direct kind of seat at the table. It's just a privilege, it's an honor, but it's also a big responsibility to be able to speak into, hopefully mostly listen, but also speak into their organizations, even their lives. And so I'm coaching these leaders one-on-one, but also coaching the teams collectively. And so, yeah, that's what I get to do. And it's incredible, it's amazing, and I can see God working in all kinds of ways. And really what I get to do is to help leaders think about how they're going to live out their faith in their business, in and through their business. How are they going to work for gospel advancement? How are they work for the good of the community, for the good of the people that they serve? So it's a big privilege. And one of the things that I've seen through prayer, and I'm a big believer in prayer, is how God has even directly used your prayers back kind of middle of the year when the team was formed to surround the business with prayer. We, up until that point, had been about 5 years in business, and it had been going well. We had our best year last year, but there wasn't a ton of referral business coming in. It was just kind of there wasn't a big pipeline. And then all of a sudden, we started praying for referrals and just more clients to serve, and we just started getting referrals everywhere. It was just amazing to see that, and opportunities all over we can see. And so going into next year as a direct result, we're actually bringing on my wife, and she's been working at a church for 4 or 5 years here in town, but she's really on her own felt called to work in the business and to start doing some coaching on her own and to help us as we grow. And so that's also a prayer request. It's a praise and it's a prayer request that her transition will go well, and that she'll really be able to flourish in the business and in her work and in her calling. And I'm excited because she's got a lot of gifts that I don't have, and so I'm really excited for that. And prayer-wise, we're really praying for just more clients that we can have an impact with to serve, and even revenue-wise, we would pray for just really healthy profits so that we can go more and give more really is our heart. So Leah and I, Leah lived in Nepal for about 10 years. I've lived there about 12 years of my life total. And so we have a huge passion for missions and even business's mission. And so our heart and our biggest kind of desire is to be able to travel, be a part of what God's doing around the world missionally, and just be able to do that through the business. Not necessarily making profit through that, but having enough profit so that we can do that and fund that. And so our goal for next year is to have a giving pledge that we would set aside 5% of our earnings of our total revenues for gospel advancement, and that would be an organization that we would either give to or work out something like that. So that's a prayer as well as a praise that we have that opportunity to look at that next year. And then really the other prayer would be that that I'm a faithful steward and advisor to the CEOs and founders and leadership teams that I work with, that I'd be able to have wisdom as I counsel them and guide them and advise them, and that I would be able to just be faithful in that and hear God's voice in it and be walking in the Spirit as I come alongside and support and encourage the leaders that I get to work with.